Right, okay, so you're probably thinking, why would a theatre company help me with my learning and development of my staff team? And it's a good question. You know, you're probably worried about a load of people turning up, doing Shakespeare, messing about, having a bit of a laugh, but would you actually get any learning out of it? So I thought a useful thing to do for you would be just to share an example of a piece of work that we recently did, and that hopefully will give you a sense of how using Face Up Theatre for your learning and development for your team, be that in a conference setting or for more bespoke training, can be a really helpful thing. So we recently worked with Sandwell Adult Safeguarding Board, and they we're having a conference for their staff team, well, for a number of agencies, in fact, which included social services, police, fire services, care, health, all those kind of agencies. And the conference was in response to a safeguarding adult review of a particularly complex case that involved the death of one of the adults that was in their care. So it was a particularly challenging issue to bring up, and when I spoke to the organisers, they were very concerned that this kind of issue could be quite a problem for their staff, and if they spoke to their staff about it in a formal way, people could feel quite challenged, put down. It would impact on morale, and they were very concerned about that. So they wanted a conference that was a bit different. They wanted to raise the issues that were very important, but at the same time, they wanted people to have a good time, to feel positive, to develop that team, and they wanted something that brought people together. So they asked us to look at a few case studies. They gave us some information about some particular cases from their borough and from other boroughs, and places where things had gone wrong in terms of safeguarding adults. So we took those scenarios and we fictionalised them. We changed the names. We maybe changed the gender, and we changed some of the stories just to make it more theatrical and more palatable for the audience. And then we spent some time rehearsing that, and we took those scenes to their conference. So it was four of us, four actors. All of our actors are great actors, but also really good facilitators. And what happened then at the conference is that we showed those scenes, and after each scene we would interact with the audience. We might invite people to talk about what's just happened, to answer some specific questions in their groups, to share ideas, to advise their characters on stage what they could do next, and we might play out that advice. So it's using a kind of forum theatre style, where the audience are part of the action, really. Nobody was dragged up on stage, nobody's humiliated in any way at all, and if people want to share ideas but don't want to speak up, we will go out into the audience, and while they're talking we'll just listen in, and we can share the things that they want to feed back. So what's the benefits, I guess? What do you think the benefits might be for your organisation to have something like that? They certainly felt the benefits. The day was really, really successful, and all of the people left that day feeling very, very positive about what they might be able to do in their roles, rather than perhaps focusing on things that had gone wrong in the past. There was a real kind of hopeful optimism from the audience when they left. So that's obviously a very important thing, that people leave with hope and feeling that they're able to do more in their work after a day like that. Another great thing that happens is that through the process of interaction, people mix and talk, and we will often make that part of the show, that we mix people up and get people to share ideas, and that's also very helpful for building teams, particularly if you're looking at multi-agencies or groups of people from different areas of businesses that are coming together and perhaps aren't communicating that well. This just gives an opportunity to speak and share ideas together, and therefore at the end of that day they'll feel better able to reconnect with those people. I hope that gives you a little idea of how we work and some of the things that we've done in the past. That was a very recent piece of work we did, and there are a lot of other examples of successful inputs that we've made. And if you want to find out more or have a conversation with me about what we could do with your team, then I'm always happy to talk, or meet for a coffee, or whatever you want to do, really, to discuss things. Thanks very much. I hope that's been helpful.